Hello there. Great to be sharing space with you again as I explore a topic that is absolutely very exciting and important to me. As I threw the topic out, lots of people gave me their versions as to what they thought I was about to talk about. The topic, grab the panhandle. Grab the panhandle. And some people thought it was going to talk about aggression. Others thought it was going to talk about assertiveness. Others thought it was going to be a confrontation. You grab that panhandle and assault. There were others who focused on the handle, taking control, thinking I was going to talk about taking control. And yet there were others who were like, what in heaven is she talking about? Is she going geography? Panhandle? Well, everything there can come within inches or maybe a yard of what I want to talk about, but no need to guess anymore, because this time I'll make it plain. Grab the panhandle. Resetting the controls in your personal life for success. It's all about control. Control. And why is this so important to me? Because I realize that there are many individuals who think they are in control of their lives, only to find out when it's too late that someone else was pulling their strings. There are others of us who live our lives with regret and resentment because we're always fighting against the control of others. So we know that we're being controlled and we resent it. And yet there are others who are oblivious to the fact that they're being controlled. They're being a good puppet, thinking all the time that they're doing it themselves. And so, today we're going to be exploring the whole idea of, do I have control? Do I need control? How do I get this control? And why do I need to get this control? But who is speaking to you? Who am I to be telling you about grabbing the panhandle? Do I know anything about control, about controlling my own personal life? I've been there and I've come here. And it's been a journey from here to here. And let me tell you something. There is so much joy and excitement on this side of the world, on this side of being in control of myself, that I am absolutely excited and fired up. I think this is my mission. And that's why I'm talking to you, because I realize that there are so many people who are living their lives by default, just going through the motion every day, whose strings are being pulled by others. And they would live so much happier. They would have so much more to contribute. The world would be so much of a better place if only they were in control of themselves. So let's talk about Patrice. For today, this is Patrice. Patrice was born in 1969, which makes her right now 50, fabulous, fantastic, but still finding out about life and herself. I love fun. But I was born 50 years ago, and the immediate family that surrounded me embraced me with loads of love, because you see, I was the first child, the first grandchild, the first niece, so you can understand the loads of love that was piled on. But with that love came responsibility, and with that responsibility came expectations. And so from very, very early, whether it was deliberately planted or it was something that they saw, but from very early in my head was the idea that I wanted to be a medical doctor. My father was in the medical field. He was a radiographer. My aunts were nurses. So it kind of goes without saying that we spent a lot of time around the medics, and therefore the toys I got were always doctor related. I was always taking somebody's pressure. I had a stethoscope in my ear. I was always doing something along that field. The books I read, the museums they took me to, the facilities I visited, all reinforced this dream that I was going to be a doctor. My success in school didn't help. because I did well at everything that I did. And so naturally I was shunted towards the sciences because, at that time, it was thought, maybe still, that the bright ones go the scientific route. That's such a fallacy and something I've tried hard to help people to see otherwise. Not everything that you can do, you should do. I could do it, but that wasn't necessarily my calling. There is so much that we can do because we're just dynamic, wonderfully created human beings. But not everything that you can do should hold the handle of your life. And so I went through high school, went to university, was already qualified for medicine, but the competition to get into med school was just so steep. So after the first year of qualifying, second year of qualifying, there was just not enough space. I didn't make it in the creme de la creme. So I decided to do biochemistry as a placeholder, still in the sciences, moving on. One day I'd do medicine. I left and I went to teach at a university. I enjoyed the classroom. I only planned to have done it for 2 years, but I absolutely enjoyed the classroom, and I was teaching chemistry, all sorts of chemistry. And the years ticked on, 2, 5, 7, and I did my master's in molecular biology, and it catapulted me into a new world, a world of notoriety and excitement, and a world of affirmation, because my research was groundbreaking worldwide on the impact of sorrel and garlic on cancer. Oh, I absolutely enjoyed the stage of sharing, not the notoriety, but the sharing, the eagerness I saw on people's faces when I told them that this thing that you have, that you've been using so casually, has medicinal properties, and the excitement that it awoke, and the individuals who never thought themselves as being as having any potential with a cure, the farmers, the agriculturalists, the herbalists. Listen, I was excited because I was moving among all these people. And then I was flogged with chronic fatigue syndrome, which further progressed into fibromyalgia. And I woke up one morning to recognize that I had limited time. And you may say, but we all have limited time. We all have limited time. We're here for just so long and no longer. Didn't you know that? That's not what I'm talking about. I wasn't frightened by the end of my life. I was frightened by the journey of my life. For the average person will probably have probably 12, 14 effective hours in a day, awake hours in a day. Fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, had shrunken mine to effectively just about 6 on a good day. I won't spend the time now to tell you how fibromyalgia changed my life, of how much it robbed me of how much rearrangement and restructuring I had to do, of what it stripped me, the confidence it stripped me of, and the depression it piled on. But I was now at a T-junction. I would either go left or right. Left would find me in a pile, curled up, and taking the fate that life handed me. Right would have me restructuring my life and finding a way to live full in 6 hours around pain, live around cognitive confusion, live around so many, don't even want to talk about it. And I took the right turn. That's why I told you I'm over here and I'm excited. I look back at the days when a white coat, every time I saw a white coat, every time I saw a young female doctor in a white coat, it elicited resentment, envy, shame, anger, a feeling of uselessness, a feeling of letdown. For you see, my grandfather died before I became the doctor granddaughter he so longed and spoke about. My aunt died, still waiting on her doctor niece. And so there was so much that was piled onto me. Patrice. Rattling. Patrice. Empty. Patrice. Somewhere in there, when fibromyalgia hit, it forced me to look for what was really, really important. And so I had to take some things away, for I had less time. And I went deeper, and I still found some of me. And I went deeper, and I still found some more of me. And I got to the point where there was nothing left to strip. I had gotten to my authentic self. Stripped of all the expectations and the pressure and the dreams of others and even myself and the circumstantial nudging into different directions. I had come to a point that could effectively and fully occupy the 6 hours that I had. It was at this point that I recalled something my grandmother had said to me for years. When everyone was talking about the doctor granddaughter, my grandmother Hilda Dyer, she wasn't humored at all. She would say, you will never be any doctor. You chat too much. You will give the patient wrong injection. Should I say that in English? She said, you will never be a medical doctor. You talk too much. At the rate at which you talk, you are sure to give the patients wrong injection. You are going to live by your mouth. It wasn't something I swallowed well at the time, because I celebrated and was excited about the dreams they had of me becoming this illustrious doctor. But she seemed to have been onto something. When I got to this point, I heard another voice. I heard my report cards from school every year without fail, 3 terms per year. It didn't matter which grade, it didn't matter which teacher. Patrice is a very good student, but talks too much in class. At this point, I heard it again. Patrice, talk, life. And then I was forced to look at what I had been doing. I was teaching at this university, excited about my students, loved my students. But what was it that I loved the most? I realized it had nothing to do with the content that I taught, because anything they gave me to teach, as long as I had the opportunity of turning somebody from a point of being dismally disappointed and feeling useless to feeling that they can do this thing, giving them purpose, I was elated. And that's what gave me energy in my classroom. That's what made me alive. And that's why my classes were exceptionally well attended by science majors and non-science majors, because they came to my class expecting life lessons and illustrations and analogies, and of course the science, because they all did well. But there was something about the way I delivered. With 6 effective hours to my day, what would I do? And that's when deliberate living was born. Deliberate living was the message I embodied to tell the world that I had found myself, and you can find yourself too. So I have a pan. I took the handle, and I'm in control. And it's exciting. But let me hurry up to tell you why you're here. You're here because you too have a pan. And you may not recognize that you have a pan. So what is this pan that I'm talking about? P. You are born with a purpose. And this purpose is identified for you through your passion. the things you like, the things that come naturally to you, the things you truly enjoy doing, the things that make you feel productive and useful. Les Brown said, your job is what you get paid for. Your purpose is what you were made for. So do you have the P from Pan? Oh, yes, you do. What's the A? The A is authenticity. Authenticity. I have come in recent times to be absolutely enamored by the research, fascinated by the research of Brené Brown. Oh, you should listen to her lectures. Her research on shame and vulnerability and wholeness living and that kind of a thing. It fired up something that was already deep inside of me, something that I had known all along. She defines authenticity as the daily practice of letting go of who you think you were supposed to be and embracing who you are. Let me go that again. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. This is the authentic Patrice. These represent who I thought I was supposed to be. And day by day by day, I have stripped down to my authentic self. Is there any change that's happening here? Of course, and until the day I die, I will be unveiling the authentic Patrice. Stronger, better, louder, prouder. Because it's there. And so you have an authentic self. You were born authentic. And that is one thing that the devil has worked over time on. He recognizes that he can dampen the beauty and the productivity of this world by simply crushing the spirits of individuals so that their true purpose is never ever realized. If he can keep you walking in the shadow of someone else, if he can keep you covered, then he would have kept the world hostage. What covers your authenticity? It's what I call nurture, the N in Pan. Nurture is generally taken as the influence of external factors after you were born, after conception. So you're born pure and clean. Yes, you have genetic propensities, things that you were born with at a DNA level that determine certain things about you. Sure, you came in with that, and all of that was prearranged as a part of your authentic self. However, circumstances, influence from people, exposure, learning, the circumstances you were born in, the circumstances you grew up with, the experiences you had, good and bad, all nurture you. Is nurture negative? No. Nurture can be both positive and negative. How do I determine if nurture is positive? Any nurturing that reinforces the authentic self is considered positive nurturing, and it should be held. Now, positive nurturing is not always pleasant nurturing. It may be something that you do not like, but it opens up your mind and your realization as to who you really are. That piece of nurture is a good piece of nurture, even though it's not a comfortable piece of nurture. Then there are other forms of nurture, some comfortable, yeah, that's not good for you. Some forms of nurture that cripples you, that makes you feel that you can't when you can. There's some forms of nurture that looks like love that actually pads you and shelters you in and covers up your authentic self. Do you have P, purpose? Do you have A, authenticity? Do you have N, nurture? Yes, you do. So now that I've established that you do have a pan, what do I want you to do? Pan is what you have. Grab is what you'll do. You're going to grab your pan handle. And by that I mean you're going to take control of your passion, purpose, of your authenticity, and of your nurture. And how are you going to do this? I'm going to use an acronym again for GRAB. G for grab. G for your gut feelings. You know. I'm telling you. You know who you are. You've heard other voices telling you who you're supposed to be. You've heard other circumstances and situations that direct you in a path they think you're supposed to be. And you've probably taken that path. But deep down inside, if you stop long enough and listen enough, you will hear your gut telling you what your true purpose is, who your authentic self is, and which nurture to shed and which to embrace. So listen to your gut. R. Once you have discovered, you've heard that voice, reclaim the authentic self. Reclaim who you are. Get rid of those things. Strip down to the authentic self by reclaiming what the gut tells you. Then A, act on what the gut tells you. So the gut tells you that you are a creative person. It's interesting, you know. I always grew up thinking that I was a klutz. If I walked too fast, I would fall. I guess that's a part of the nurture. My poor daddy loves me so much. But he loved me so much he wouldn't allow me to climb trees when I was growing up because I would fall. Yeah, everybody falls. He didn't want his daughter to fall. Yeah. So I grew up thinking I was a klutz. And then a couple of years ago, on the university, I decided to join the badminton team. Never done anything athletic in my life. So I joined the badminton team, and the coach for the badminton team was actually the coach for the national team. And so here I was on the badminton court for the first time, wasn't even sure how to hold the racket. My husband had a good laugh, my friends had a good laugh. My husband said he couldn't make up his mind whether I was playing cricket or badminton or lawn tennis. I was all over the place. But then the coach said, Mrs. Gordon, what athletic background do you have? I said, me, coach? He said, yes, your form. You have an athletic form. I said, coach, and I thought he was, jiving me. He said, no, I'm serious. The way you position yourself tells me that there is something. Let me tell you something. I just needed to hear that one more time. I was on that badminton court every evening with my racket. I never made the national team. I didn't even make the school team. But my confidence grew because I realized that there was something that was deep down inside that I had ignored for years. And there's so much more that this authentic self has found. I have picked up, there's a creative side of me I didn't know I had. Another time I'll tell you about the depression I sunk in when I recognized I was an introvert. When I realized I was melancholic. I couldn't believe it because the sanguine part of me was what was celebrated. The melancholic side of me, I didn't pay attention to that. But as I found my authentic self, there is so much creativity pouring out of me in paper crafting, in sketching, in writing, in drama. Of course, science students don't usually do that because that's where I was channeled. And all of this that was resident in me had lain dormant. Praise the Lord, I found my authentic self. I grabbed the panhandle. So, claim it, act on it, use it. When you find it, use it. And when you act on it, so G for gut, R for reclaim, A for action, and B, build on it. Don't just act, because you're not created to be an ordinary person. You were created for greatness. Your uniqueness is your greatness. That thing that you find in your authentic self when you strip right down is what you were created for, and it is great. And it is going to be in conjunction with other people, because you were created for impact. Say impact. Impact. Say impact. Impact. Yeah, you were created for impact. So that's what you do with your panhandle. You grab it. How do you feel now? Have I touched any of your pain points? I know you're out there, and I know you're listening. I know there's someone listening who is tired of being someone else's puppet. There may be someone listening who is tired of feeling used. You're tired of just being busy and not being productive. You're tired of, you feel like time is running out. You feel as if your life could be represented by an hourglass and the sand is just trickling down faster and faster every day, and you don't have much to show for it. Maybe you see yourself like the gears in a car, not first gear, not second gear, not overdrive, but maybe neutral. You're not going anywhere, you're just there. Or maybe reverse, and you feel so despondent about where you are. You just feel stuck and you want to get going. Maybe you are ready to go. Maybe your engine is revving, but you don't know where to go. Maybe you know where to go, but you don't know how to get there. Maybe you feel on the verge of greatness, but greatness frightens you. And you wonder, can the world manage how I'm feeling? Let me tell you something. If you are in a space today where you have to water down yourself to be accepted, where you have to turn off some of your bulbs so that you don't shine out everybody else, you're in the wrong place. You were created to be great, and your entire greatness is needed. And if you are somewhere in life, and I'm telling you because I've been there, if you are somewhere in life where you feel that a fraction of you is what you're comfortable expressing, and you've got to suppress the greater part of you, you are not where you were meant to be. And your gifts will make room for you. Just grab the handle. Step out. Your greatness will sustain you. Your gifts will sustain you. You don't have to worry about the fact that if I step out in my purpose, I am going to fall. No, your authentic self is enough. It's dense, it's full, and it will never expire until your breath does. And when your breath does, you won't know. Are you tired of tasting authenticity? You've listened to a lecture like mine and you feel good, and then you step away and you're back to where you were until you get a little taste another time and you leave it again. And right about now you feel that you want a whole all-you-can-eat buffet where you just have all and all and all and all of it. If I have touched your pain, if I've spoken to your reality, let me tell you something. I have a handle, I have a grasp on my panhandle. I no longer wait for a classroom to inspire a few students who came to learn chemistry. I no longer only speak where I'm invited to and give a little taste of what I was created for. I have taken the handle and I have established this platform where I can spend my 6 hours, my 6 effective hours, planning and executing my mission of helping people like you to live your best life now. So you've learned about the pan, and you've learned about the need for control. But you know, you've been down this road before. This is the last time you're going to go down this road and not be completely fulfilled, because I'm going to make you an offer that you can't refuse. I have developed a product called Reset to Soar just for you. And in this program, I will hold your hand. I am putting nothing new in you, because everything you need, you already have. Putting nothing new in you. But I will hold your hand, and over a period of 60 days, 1 hour each week. This will also include 1 and 1 hour sessions with me. It will also include the Metamorphosis workbook. It will also include a dynamic reinforcing team that will cheer you on to the finishing line. I guarantee you transformation from the very first week. Reset to Soar will help you to accurately reveal your stuck points. Where are you stuck? It will get you unstuck so that you can feel like you are just not busy, but that you have a purpose and you have impact. I have developed a model called the VIA model, Value, Impact, and Action. That is guaranteed to get you from finding your authentic self to having impact through your actions. At the end of this 8 weeks, I can tell you that you're going to be positioned to reap financial rewards that are sitting down around you unclaimed, because you're busy being pulled by somebody else's string. Reset to Soar will transform your frustrations and the sense of uselessness to a meaning of joy, to one of meaning and of joy that makes mundane tasks an opportunity to shine. Things you've taken for granted that you've been doing all this time and resenting it. The true you will begin to live. You will never again endure another day. Am I saying that you won't have hills and valleys? No. But you will realize that you have enough to make it through. Your relationships will be anchored in authenticity. And there is nothing as freeing as being yourself and being pleased and proud of your one true self, and having others around you embracing that. And so you'll do the strip and strut, which is to take the discomfort out of self-disclosure and help you to see the beauty hidden behind your mask. As I mentioned before, you will receive the Metamorphosis workbook, which will create and track your personalized transformation. And you will have access to the Power Pump. You can get all your questions answered in preparation for your soar. I'll take you from the caterpillar to the chrysalis, because some of you are at the stage of chrysalis. You've passed the caterpillar stage. You're ready to burst open. But sad to say, some people die in the chrysalis stage. Reset to Soar is going to ensure that nobody remains without wings. Whether you're at the stage of a caterpillar or at the stage of a chrysalis, you will soar. Let me tell you, you can't afford to miss this offer. My beta program begins on the 5th of October. The cards open the moment this recording ends. The cart remains open for a few days, and there are limited spaces. This is my beta offer, which means that the next time around, this program is going to be significantly more expensive. You can do the same program on a one-to-one intensive structure. And that will cost you a very little investment for the great dividends that you will reap. However, the Reset to Soar program, which will launch on October 5th and go on for 8 weeks, there are already 7 spaces left. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Reset your life to soar. You will never regret it. The best investment you'll ever make is the one you make in yourself. Finding your authentic self, finding your purpose, embracing positive nurture and stripping negative nurture. My friends, Reset to Soar is for you. Register today. Today. Type ready again on the Facebook page, on my Facebook page, Patrice Williams Gordon, and I will be sure to reach out to you and extend the opportunity for you to secure your space. It's been an awesome time speaking to you. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, because I'm doing what I was made to do. I found my purpose. I'm living my passion, and I want you to do too.